So I want to say thank you to the Root community again for all the stuff that we're doing together. We are at a great time in this organization. I am going to move to the next slide because I want to talk to you guys about this a little bit, about compliance and regulatory. I actually had the opportunity to meet with some attorney generals yesterday and went over regulatory and how we have to be compliant. And I just want to say this, the reason we read medical disclaimers, the reason that we're putting on all of our packaging and all of our materials that we can't prevent or cure or treat or diagnose diseases is because, give me one second, I have to go back to English on this, is because we're trying to be compliant in every country, including every state in the United States. And the United States is like Europe. You know, every state has a different governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and everyone reviews stuff. And the main thing we want to do is really help healthcare. If you look at traditional healthcare and then you look at functional med or basically holistic healthcare, we're trying to come into the middle and see how we can work with everyone to really have people be the best possible and to have the best lives possible. Because of that, we can't give medical advice, or it doesn't substitute for medical advice of a physician or other qualified healthcare professional. You should use this information. You should not use this information for diagnosing a health or fitness problem or disease. You should also always consult with a doctor or other healthcare professional for medical advice or information about diagnosis and treatment. We do not claim to treat, diagnose, mitigate, prevent, or cure diseases. I had someone reach out to me and ask me if I, like, what my background was the other day as far as from an educational perspective. And like Clayton says, I do have multiple doctorate degrees from different countries as well as from the United States and a master's of science. I've studied all over the world, but that doesn't give me the right to claim anything because these are laws and regulatory compliance rules throughout the world. We also can't insinuate we do, but what we can do is gather data and report on it, which is why the patient registry is so important and why case studies are so important. We have so much to do throughout this world and we're only in the beginning. So together as a Root community, we have to make sure we keep each other in compliance, we follow guidelines, and we always give correct information. We have a lot of people to help, a lot of people that we can give hopefully better lives and longer lives to if we talk about how we are here for wellness and to really help the rest of the world. So let's go to the next slide and let's talk about our topic for today. Sorry, I'm telling Clayton he has to leave because I'm sorry, Patrick. He was over there doing stuff and he's going to say hi.
Bye, Felicia.
I said, Clayton, I can't concentrate while you're moving around everywhere. He has a hard time staying still.
Maybe I just like to move for you.
So today we're going to talk about heart health. And this is a class on natural supplements. And I want to say this, like, what's wonderful about this world is we have natural supplements that can help people because of the ingredients that the world has to offer. And if you use them the right way to make them bioavailable and efficacious and safe, you're able to make major advancements. And I think that's our goal. We have so many different diagnoses and diseases that we have these case reports on where people are feeling better and doing better. And I think we are a small part of what's really helping change the world due to our advancements on how this community is helping people worldwide understand their bodies. So today we're going to talk about heart health. We're also going to bring in different ingredients that can help people with their heart. So let's go to the next slide. And guys, when we talk about heart health, it involves a lot of things like your blood pressure, tachycardia, when you're looking at different diagnoses, cholesterol, high blood pressure. I could just go on and on. They're connected to a lot of things because it's your overall health of your heart. And the heart is really the engine of the body. So if you have a car and the engine isn't working, you can't go anywhere. If you have a heart that's not working right, then you can't do things either because it's pumping blood, it's supplying oxygen, it's bringing nutrients into all the organs and the tissues, and it's really, really important. Your blood is also responsible through the heart and through how it works through the body to remove waste. So not only is it supplying oxygen, it's also helping with waste removal in your body. And a lot of people don't understand that. It helps with body temperature and pH. It helps with your immune response because blood contains white blood cells that play a vital role in the immune system. So if that isn't working right from the heart, then the rest of your body isn't either. And we understand that the brain and the heart and the GI are all connected, right? Everything is connected. And your microbiome, we always talk about it in the GI system, but really it's your microbiome throughout your body, which is so important. Your heart also, people don't understand this, but I want you guys to know, it's connected to hormone health because hormones are chemical messengers that really basically work with metabolism, growth, mood, and everything. But the blood flowing from the heart has to work correctly or the hormones don't work right. Your immune system doesn't work right. Your microbiome, your pH, your body temperature isn't right. So it's extremely important. Also, your heart is connected to the prevention of disease. A healthy heart reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease, such as heart attack, stroke, and hypertension. One of the things I really focused on when I made the product Sculpt was I focused on making sure that I could really work at trying to keep the blood sugar down, right? And the insulin down. And we can't claim that, but it was a major focus of mine because I really wanted people's hearts to work right. And if your blood sugar is off or if you have diabetes, this impacts the heart as well. So when you look at our different key products that we have, the overall focus is to give natural ingredients that are really supporting the overall body as well as the organs and different aspects of the body. It's extremely important. Let's go to the next slide. So one of the things I always say, people ask me all the time, I know they ask you all, where do we start? I just had this discussion this morning in a meeting. And I said I would always start with clean slate. Now, clean spirits is right up there with that. And I think, it's exciting to announce that I invented the patents and we have the patents on alcohol metabolism. Those patents were approved. That's huge for us. But it's also huge for us that we have clean slate, which harnesses basically a natural cleaning mineral. I'm going to say cleaning for Germany. And it really helps purging the cells of harmful toxins. And it really helps from all those toxins infiltrating the body. And let me explain that. So you have toxins in the body, we all do. You're born with toxins. Then you go out into the world and you have more toxins. It never ends. That's why when people ask me, how long do we take clean slate? I say you can take breaks. I tell some people if they want to take a 2-week break, they can. But the problem you have to understand is your body is continuously having these toxins. You get it in the water, you get it in the air, you get it in the food that you eat. And anyway, it really impacts the whole overall body. It also impacts if your body can absorb nutrients. Your body becomes inflamed, the nutrients don't go through the pathways, and your bodies don't work right. So it's really important to eliminate toxins from the cells and from the body. Our goal with Clean Slate, my goal was in inventing this product to help the body naturally just release the things that are not helping in overall production. And that's really your goal. That's why starting with Clean Slate for heart health to me is a must. If you don't start with Clean Slate, start with Clean Spirits, because Clean Spirits is also helping with certain cleaning processes in the body. Those of you that want to take both, you can do that as well. And we'll talk about that throughout the deck. Next slide, Tiger. So detoxification and heart health, or let's just say cleaning and heart health, because I really believe detox is a word that I don't love. And I think people know this. I always use the word zoded. And I always say zoded is detox backwards because detoxification is backwards, in my opinion. There's a lot of products out there in this world that are attempting to detox the body, but they're stripping the body. And my goal with Clean Slate was to make sure we weren't stripping the body, but instead we were really supporting the body after we got rid of things, which is why there's trace minerals and vitamins added, as well as the fact that it's a catalyst to really help throughout the entire body. So your goal when you're taking Clean Slate or Clean Spirits is to reduce oxidative stress in the body. That's one of your top goals. There's a high level of oxidative stress that can damage the cells of the heart and the blood vessels. If you can help your body naturally get rid of that, that's part of the process to really helping your overall body. Our goal here, again, is to have the longest and best life possible. So to do that, we're using natural ingredients to really help our bodies do what they need to do. You also need to lower inflammation, and we talk about this a lot. Inflammation is a scary thing. I want you guys to understand when you have high inflammation in the body, it's like you have a fire in your body. It's like alarm, 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 alarm. There's a fire going off. The difference is you can't smell smoke. You don't see the fire. It's inside of you. Please remember, inside of your body, there is a city. The cells talk. Your body has a living community inside. You have to support it. You have to listen through your intuition and your discernment, and then symptoms in the body to help your body just overall get rid of inflammation and really support the immune system, getting rid of the things that the body doesn't need. So when you are taking products that have certain ingredients like Clean Slate, it's assisting the body to provide the body what it needs to do some of these things. Your body is equipped naturally to do that, but sometimes it needs extra help, especially since we have evolved as a species and there's more pollution, there's more toxins. We have to really, really work at, again, getting rid of those and increasing our immune system and our healthy cells in the body. You want to get rid of the fire inside of the body. You want to get rid of the cells that are talking that are toxic or have cancer or have diseases. And you want to support the cells that are really healthy in the body. We also need help improving circulation. Circulation is connected to your heart too. So when your blood vessels in your heart aren't working, your circulation throughout the body isn't. That's why a lot of people with cardiovascular disease have numbness in their hands or their legs or their feet. So again, you're continuously assisting your body to get rid of those harmful things, supporting it so that circulation can get better. You also need to balance blood pressure. A lot of you guys know I've had issues with blood pressure throughout my life. Clean Slate is something I take on a daily basis because it's so important to me, because this is an issue I struggle with. I've got to eliminate the substances in my body so my heart can work better, because your blood pressure is connected to your heart health. And you really got to decrease the events of cardiovascular disease. It runs in my family. I really try to support my body on a daily basis. I say this to people all the time. The products that I worked on were for my family and my friends and for all of the root community, so that we can really do these things to decrease the risk of autoimmune disorders, diseases, and cardiovascular events by supporting our body with what it really needs to work more effectively. And that's really your overall goal of doing all of this. Also, you've got to enhance the nutrient absorption. I can't stress this enough, and I want to explain why. Your energy of your body, your ability to function, your ability to produce, it's all related to the entire body. But if you are giving yourself vitamins and minerals and you haven't detoxed the system, then those vitamins and minerals don't work as a nutrient because the pathways are blocked. So that's why this cleaning process inside of your body is so important. I relate it again to taking the trash out in a home. You take the trash out, and so it's really important when you take it out that you understand you're cleaning your house, right? We all know that. We don't, like, I remember when my kids were growing up in the house, and they all took turns taking the trash out twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. And it was because you don't want trash in your house. So why don't we understand that about our bodies? It's that simple. When you guys educate customers, please talk to them about that, because a lot of people have not been educated on the fact that there are toxins and heavy metals and pollution inside the body and not just outside the body. That's why when it pertains to things like cardiovascular health, this is the first thing I recommend for people to do naturally, so they can provide the support to the body that they need, so they can have better heart health. I think it's extremely important. Next slide. So, and Tiger, you can go ahead and go to the next slide when you think I've paused and I've finished, so I don't have to tell you.
Okay,
You
I was gonna go on, but I didn't want to go on too early. Okay.
You can, and then I can take a snapshot. I'll remember what was on the other slide, so it's okay. Unless I say
Okay.
go back, but that way hopefully we can get through the entire deck. So vitamin C is another, thank you, is another thing that is extremely important to our overall system. We talk about this a lot. antioxidant protection, you're supporting your endothelial function, you're lowering blood pressure, reducing inflammation, preventing LDL oxidation. And let me go into that a little bit. So basically, your vitamin C, if used the right way and given to the body in the right amount, can impact all of these different areas. You can get vitamin C in a lot of different things. We have them in our products, and the sourcing of the vitamin C and how it's produced is extremely important. One of the things I talk about a lot is there's a lot of products out there that they're not cleaning the products. They don't do batch testing. They're not going in and sourcing from the correct sources or creating what's called a utility process so that the process is made correctly. We do all of those things at this company. I do all of these things in manufacturing to make sure that we're providing the best vitamin C possible, to make sure we're providing a vitamin C that's really helping the body. Because here's the problem. You could take a vitamin C, or you could take a zeolite product or any kind of product, a silica product, and they could have a lot of toxins in them that aren't helping. Everything around us are going to have a little trace amount of different things, but I go through a cleaning process so I can continuously look at the amounts in our products and make sure we're providing this community with the best products possible. But I really want you guys to pay attention to the fact that vitamin C is crucial and essential in so many areas, including heart health. It's extremely important. So what else is important and why is it important? If you look at all the other different, Tucker, I've already finished this slide. When you look at the different things that are happening within what we're being given, we also have the trace minerals along with the vitamin C. And this is a slide I really wanted to focus on. A lot of you guys, in fact, I just went through a process on sodium, potassium, and calories on all of our products because we're updating all the labels. We're going through a regulatory compliance so we can make sure our labels are correct in every country. And so we can hit every metrics possible, because if we don't, we let the root community down. It's extremely important. And trace minerals are something that people get very confused about. Let me explain that. Trace minerals are linked to different things that like fluoride. Trace minerals are linked to different things like potassium and sodium. And a lot of people don't understand that there's different types of trace minerals, and there's also different ways to make the trace minerals. And it's really important. If the trace minerals are manufactured in the right way and produced and made by the scientist in the right way, then they do a lot of great things. They can help with electrolyte balance, blood pressure regulation, antioxidant defense, which is I'm going to go back to that because I want to explain what that means in a second. Collagen formation. I don't know if you guys knew that, but your trace minerals also help with collagen. So when people ask me what I do with Clean Slate, yes, I use Clean Slate inside of my body, but I use Clean Slate outside of my body. I use it on my face. I use it under my eyes. I use it when I have different types of issues with my skin, because I understand how important it is because of the fact that it's helping balance out the skin. So it works not just inside your body, but outside of your body. People that have alopecia, for example, they ask me, what natural product should I take if I have alopecia? And one of the things I think is extremely important is taking a product like Clean Slate, because alopecia has to do with having different types of issues around collagen, different autoimmune disorders, different things that have to do with electrolyte balance. It's an autoimmune disorder. Clean Slate is something that's really helping cleaning, but it has the trace minerals and vitamin C in it. So it's impacting and supporting your body to really produce things positively as well. Another thing I think is really important that you guys have to know about is the blood clotting. Trace minerals really help, like iron and zinc. They're involved in the clotting process, and they help prevent complications in your heart. That's why it's extremely important to have certain types of trace minerals. When you look at the whole gamut of trace minerals, there could be negative components. So you have to make sure you're cleaning out the negative components and keeping those components that are really needed for people to have throughout the world. And that's what I did in this particular formula. I also was extremely focused on nitric oxide, and I'll explain that. Nitric oxide is really important for the overall body, and I wanted to focus on really making sure that your body was able to produce it. So when people have cardiovascular disease, another thing, and we don't have this product right now, But another thing you can do is take a straight nitric oxide tablet. However, if you look at the amount of trace minerals that we have in the root community, we do have a lot of trace minerals that help protect the production of nitric oxide. So there is an indirect link there because it's extremely important. It helps improve blood flow. It helps the heart. And it's something that I've always taken. Again, another reason why I included it in these products. We can go to the next slide. So Restore, you guys know the purpose of Restore. I'm going to retell the story in case you weren't here in the beginning. I wanted a product that, regardless of where I traveled, regardless of what I did, I could take with me to get the nutrients and minerals. And I could tell you, when Patrick, Ted, Clayton, myself, when we travel, we have Restore. We take Restore with us. We actually share it with each other. We understand the importance. It was designed to really address a lot of things that had to do with the microbiome. Also to be able to give your nutrients and vitamins to your body so that you could promote anti-aging and you could really assist the body to restore what it's needed. So you're basically cleaning out and restoring. And this is really important to cardiovascular health. And I'll explain why. Cardiovascular health has to do with having the right components in the body. You can go on, Tiger. And so when you do different things, like you take certain ingredients, it helps with the overall health. Black cumin seed is one of the particular ingredients that I've used throughout the different products that I have. And it was really important to me to be able to use it. It was extremely important for me to provide it for the entire community, because black cumin seed and black cumin seed oil, and sometimes it's called Nigella sativa, which is a scientific name, but it's really helpful in a lot of different ways. When I think of cell signaling and I think of the cells talking, and I think of positive communication, I think of Restore. I think of Restore, I think of ReLive Greens, I think of Immune Defense Shield. I think of all of these products and how they're really helping the body. Black cumin seed has lots of studies where it helps lower blood pressure. There's a lot of studies that are available on NIH and PubMed throughout the world that talk about how it improves cholesterol levels. We also know it balances blood sugar control. So that's why I tell people, when you look at the 30-day plan for Sculpt, and Patrick, have we launched that 30-day plan with the community? Do they have that? I thought they did.
Yep.
I know we're working on the app, but I know that the actual plan, if you look at it, you look at the rest of the root products, and I think it's really important. I don't want people just taking Sculpt and not eating all day. I want people taking Sculpt and Crush and the different products and also using them along with the other products, because it's extremely important. To enhance blood sugar control, black cumin seed is one of those important products that does that. And again, an important regimen for you to add if you're trying to lose weight or help metabolism or hormone health is to add something like black cumin seed. There are studies of parasites, there are studies of fungus and bacteria and viruses that have to do with black cumin seed, as well as turmeric curcumin, and as well as aloe vera, as well as resveratrol. And lumping those all in together with the apple cider vinegar is really helpful to the overall body. And that's what's in that powerful packet of Restore. It also protects against blood clot formation. So I want to explain that. It has a compound that basically helps with the coagulation of the blood. And that's extremely important, because there can be blood clots in arteries. There can be stuff that's basically thrown, and they're called thrombotic events, or like they're basically mini clots. And this can happen, and it can really cause a heart attack or a stroke or even death. So it's really important that this area of your body is working right as connected to the heart. So next slide. Resveratrol. I knew Tiger before I even saw the words because of the berries. I have to tell you, resveratrol can be found in different things, but I think it's most known for being found in certain types of grapes. We know about resveratrol because we understand that even the American Heart Foundation at one point said it's good to have a glass of wine with dinner. It can help with heart health. What we know now as scientists is that resveratrol has a lot of antioxidant activity. It also helps with anti-inflammation. It improves endothelial function. And what I mean by that, it basically helps the overall body relax the blood vessels so they work more appropriately. Because otherwise you have a risk of hypertension and other types of diseases and other types of disorders. So it's really important for the endothelium to work correctly. Also, again, this is another key factor in lowering blood sugar and blood pressure, both. I don't have the blood sugar on here, but it does help with blood sugar as well. It protects against LDL oxidation, so it really helps get rid of bad cholesterol and helps the body really work more effectively. Really, really important. I want to stress to you guys how important it is to have this key ingredient in Restore. When I did that particular formula, it was one of the things I was having a hard time sourcing because all resveratrol is not the same. And being able to provide an ingredient that's cleaned and formatted and used in a process that really protects the overall body is a key to a lot of things. I know that I've had a lot of people tell me that Restore has impacted their life in a positive way, and that is because of the characteristics of it. And I look at life like this. Every product has a personality. It has different characteristics. So I, for example, as a scientist, I'm a mother, I am an artist, I like to write patents and formulations. I like to teach. Each of you has a personality. Each of you as an individual has different characteristics. That's what we are. We're made of that, right? Every product we have at Root has those too. And that's why the products are able to help in so many different areas. So for example, if you're a smart person, you can help with a lot of different things as it pertains to educating or science. Not just one area of science, but many. Same with products like Restore. Restore can help with a wide gamut of things because of the characteristics of the ingredients in Restore. And one of those key ingredients that's really connected to heart health is the resveratrol. It's an extremely powerful ingredient for you guys to take. So any of you guys that have cardiovascular issues, providing your body with what it needs in support of the heart is extremely important. Next slide. So another thing that's important on the raspberry ketones, we actually used a raspberry powder later because we were trying, but I used a specific method so that we would be able to get the effects of the ketones. I wanted help with weight management. I wanted help with metabolic health. So again, when people ask me, should Restore be taken with Sculpt, you guys can hear the things that I'm saying. It helps with antioxidant properties. It helps regulate blood sugar. I mean, guys, look at this: weight management, anti-inflammation effects, metabolic health, blood sugar, and antioxidants, all lowering inflammation, helping support the body so it has the support it needs when you're trying to lose weight or manage your weight so that you can be healthy. I had someone ask me the other day if they can take Restore if they don't need to lose weight. The answer is yes. It's giving the body the aid it needs in the different areas to work more effectively. Again, your overall goal is to manage your body so your body is this amazing miracle that looks and feels its best. I want you guys to be 55, 60 years old and someone say to you, you look 40, 45. Not because I think you're better if you look younger. I think it's important when you walk in a room for people to say, what are you doing? Like, what happened? And because you look so great. And I feel like when I look at the pictures of this Root community, from when I first meet people to when they're on these products, you see a great change. And I'm going to say this again, your outside of your body is reflecting what's happening on the inside of your body. So supporting your body in all of these different things for anti-aging and longevity, as well as weight management, as well as being as great as possible, are extremely important. Let's go to the next slide. So turmeric, curcumin, you guys, we go over this almost every week, and I bet you guys are tired of it, but I'm not, because I feel like this is one of the crucial things. You can read every religious book in history, and you're going to read about turmeric or curcumin. You're also going to see black cumin seed, by the way, because these are historically things that were used by shamans, different prophets, different spiritual leaders to help treat certain types of diseases and to help treat certain things that were happening in the body. In the United States and in Europe and in Africa and the Middle East, this is a natural ingredient. We're using it naturally to really support the body and provide the body with the tools it needs, because again, you want to get inflammation down, you want to lower cholesterol, you want to improve endothelial function and antioxidant activity, and you want to regulate blood pressure. Also, this particular ingredient helps with antiplatelet effects. And what that means is, again, it's helping with the blood clots, obstructing blood flow, and that can lead to heart attacks. This is extremely important. It goes back to platelets and basically making sure the platelets are working more effectively. When your platelets don't work, your body throws clots and it throws different things that really cause this entire body, the brain, the lungs, the organs to fail. So it's extremely important to really protect these different areas in our bodies. Next slide. Aloe vera, another one of my favorites. You know, when I was little, my grandmother and my mother and my aunts all had aloe vera plants, and they would keep them in the kitchen. And anytime we had a burn or we got bit by something, or we had even a sunburn, but like if a bee stung us or we got in poison ivy, they used aloe vera. So I grew up with aloe vera where they would break it off. And I remember the first time someone cooked aloe vera for me, and I said, wait a minute, you can eat this? And they said, yes. But I've been around aloe vera since the day I was born because of my family. It's extremely good regulating blood sugar. It again helps with blood sugar regulation and blood pressure regulation. So it's helping with both at the same time. Antioxidant activity, anti-inflammatory effects it helps with. It reduces the body's cholesterol by really providing the body the tools it needs. So again, this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 punch with Restore. If you're looking at anti-aging aspects, if you're looking at autoimmune aspects, if you're looking at feeling younger, you're really looking at a product that's supporting all these different areas of your body so that you can get from A to Z in a more effective way. And that's why Restore is such an important part of a daily routine for almost everyone on this call. We can go to the next slide. I will say there are some people, and I want to bring this up because I think it's really important. There are some people that are allergic, for example, to turmeric curcumin. It's a very small amount of people. There are people allergic to black cumin seed. So I have different people that will ask me if I can take certain ingredients out or if we can change Restore. We will not change Restore. At some point, we may come up with another formula that takes some of the ingredients out, but then it would never have the overall impact that this product has because it's so insightful, it's so impactful to your overall health. It's really important to me to be part of the Trinity to use this product because of the ability to support your overall body. Apple cider vinegar is another thing that I have kept in my refrigerator and my family kept in the refrigerator growing up. I used a component of apple cider vinegar in this formulation. My goal was to, again, improve blood sugar, reduce blood pressure, anti-inflammation, antioxidation, lowering cholesterol. But everything on these slides is really towards heart health. I want to say this. Overall, Restore has a lot of different things it does in a lot of different areas and not just heart health. Again, you're providing your body with the tools it needs. But anyone on this phone call that's had cardiovascular issues, that has high blood pressure, tachycardia, issues with blood clots and different things. Restore is really a natural product, in my opinion, to really, again, provide and assist the body so it's regulated and works more effectively, targeting all the signaling and the chemicals so the body has what it needs. And it's really important, I think, that you guys are able to express this to people so they understand the importance of Restore as it pertains to cardiovascular health. Next slide. Thank you, Tiger. Zero in. So listen, I'm going to do a hard stop on zero in because I'm going to tell you this. There's so many people that think when they have cardiovascular issues that it's related to, that they shouldn't use zero in. And I want to say this. When you have cardiovascular issues, if you use the wrong caffeine, it can impact your body negatively. If you use the right caffeine, though, it works effectively. And I think it's important to explain to everyone on the call how Zero N can impact in a positive way cardiovascular health and blood pressure. But I want to say this again. Everyone should always consult with their doctor. And if they have a negative side effect, for example, if you take Zero N and your heart keeps racing, then I do not want people to keep taking it. And let me explain that. Everybody's body's different. So if there's an ingredient in here and you've got pine bark, you've got velvet vein, you've got all these key ingredients in here. If there's something that doesn't work with your body, then your body's going to tell you. Zero N is a must for me. It's a product that gives me energy during the day. It also helps me have more peace and not be so stressed out. So it's really important for me to take Zero N. It's a natural adaptogenic and nootropic, and it's a blend of 5 adaptogenics and 2 catalysts. It really triggers the gut to produce neurotransmitters so that your brain and your heart and your stomach are really communicating in a more effective way. When your neurotransmitters don't work, people always think it has to do with mental health issues. Here's the truth. When neurotransmitters aren't working, it has to do with your heart's health and your GI as well, your stomach. So it's everything, the gut. If the gut isn't working right, the brain isn't and the heart isn't. So it's really important to get that communication going. You need dopamine, you need serotonin. There's a lot of pharmaceutical products out there that help improve those. But the problem is long-term use can lead to a lot of side effects. And I'm never against pharmaceuticals, but people should be educated on this. And if they can take a natural product first, of course, it's always better. There's a lot of people I talk to that are on Xanax too, and I want to address this right now. Xanax or Ritalin or different drugs, and then they get a diagnosis like POTS, or they get a different diagnosis of cardiovascular. Those are products, or those are pharmaceutical agents that can cause additional health issues. So if you take a lot of Ritalin or Adderall at a high amount, then you could have additional cardiovascular issues, which is why it's so important to try something natural first. For me, Zero N is a must. It helps me with my sleep. It helps me with my energy. I do take it in the morning. Some people take it at night. I will say this, if you have had cardiovascular issues or blood pressure, start by taking one and then later take one at lunch. So try in the morning one and one at lunch before you jump into 4 at the same time. I say this a lot. I think it's really important with the products we have to start slowly and then work up so you know how your body's adjusting. And you can even keep a journal. We can add it to a case study. It's really important that you guys understand you're pioneers in this. And let me explain that. We have a lot to do for the advancement of health. A lot of us have been raised in a society and in a world where we think natural things can't provide the body with natural tools it needs to really impact change. This community knows differently, but when you're talking to customers and you're talking to people, make sure you're starting slow so their body gets used to it. And another thing I say, which I know I'm going to get criticism on this, but I'm going to be honest. As a scientist, that developed these products, I really wish people, when they started, could start with one product at a time and get used to it and move on to the next. I do understand now that Sculpt is out. A lot of people will start with Sculpt, but please make sure they're also using Clean Slate or Clean Spirits while they're doing Sculpt. Try your best to educate people on that, and then educate them on with the other products on how that all, like Restore helps with metabolism, Restore helps with weight management and sugar control, Zero N helps with the brain and neurotransmitters. Just make sure you don't leave out the other products, because remember, our goal of this company is not just weight loss. Our goal of this company is giving people the tools so their bodies know how to work more effectively and can be the best body possible. Next slide. So let's talk a little bit about the ingredients in Zero N and how important they are. We know vitamin D, and vitamin D is used throughout a lot of these products. It regulates blood pressure. It helps with anti-inflammation. It improves, again, endothelial function, which again is very important to overall cardiovascular function. It regulates calcium absorption, which is extremely important. And a lot of people don't understand that if you do not have the right amount of calcium or vitamin D, then your heart is at risk, but it's a fact. So you need to understand that being able to really impact this absorption is extremely important, and vitamin D does that. It reduces arterial stiffness and it modulates cardiac muscle. And let me explain that. Vitamin D receptors are present in the cardiac muscle cells, suggesting that vitamin D may directly influence cardiac function. So it's really important because people that have problems with their heart have problems with cardiac function. And we know this is a modulator that really helps with that. Let's go to the next slide. So another important thing I talked about earlier was velvet bean seed. And this is something that is not used widely. You have to source it from out of this country. So a lot of companies don't have velvet bean seed, and they don't use it in the same way we formulated it or that I have formulated it. We know that velvet bean seed actually helps with stress reduction. We know it's neuroprotective. Again, it helps with blood sugar regulation and anti-inflammation and antioxidant activity. It's an amazing product, and you're using it at small doses. But remember, each time you take zero in, you're going up in how much you're really supplying the body. I know Clayton likes to use 4 0 in, and there's some people, I think Regina uses 5. So there are some people that need a higher level of velvet bean seed, but it just depends on the person that's using it. Let's go to the next slide. I can't emphasize enough how much I really believe in velvet bean and pine bark. I think they're two of the essential things in this particular product. The L-Tyrosine is really important. You guys have probably read all the research on this because it's everywhere. It helps with neurotransmitter balance. It helps with energy production, cognitive functioning, and it helps with stress reduction. There's a lot of other things this ingredient does. It can actually help protect the body from epigenetics. It can help with basically cellular health. I can go on and on. It does a lot of different things that are protective for your body, but it does pertain to your heart. It also can help with mood and positive energy. So I think that's really important for you guys to know. It can also modulate healthy eating patterns. So basically it helps the body know when it's time to eat and how much it should eat, which is why a lot of you guys will say you take zero in and you're not hungry. Maybe your body doesn't need that particular food that you're trying to eat, or maybe you've had enough calories, but zero in is one of the products that will regulate that for you and help along with Sculpt and Crush when Crush comes out. Next slide. So L-Theanine. L-Theanine is another key ingredient I've worked on throughout my career. I've done a lot of nootropics. I have not, I've been very honest with you all. Zero in is my favorite because of how this particular ingredient, the ingredients were used, the utility process, how it's cleaned, and how we process everything. It's definitely hands down one of the best products I've worked on. L-Theanine, though, overall helps with stress reduction. It helps with blood sugar regulation, and it helps with inflammation. It also improves sleep quality, which is where Clayton likes to take it at night because he said it helps him sleep. And a lot of people, I think even Patrick, say that. I don't take it at night. Many of you guys know that I take it in the morning. I said it earlier. But there's a lot of people in this community that think it thinks it works more effectively at night. And I will say this, your body is repairing at night. So as many things as you can take at night. Now I'm going to take Sculpt off the table because Sculpt should be taken during the day. A lot of the other products we have, if you take them at night, like your Restore, your Clean Slate, your Immune Defense Shield, your body's repairing at night. It's like you're re-energizing. So it's really great to take these products at night while your body's repairing and relaxing. So when you choose when to take products, if you haven't taken any at night and you haven't gotten the results you want, I would try to switch to taking some of these at night to really help your overall health. Next slide. So another one of my favorites, we've already talked about, pine bark. I think one of the reasons this is so important is it really helps in so many different areas. As it pertains to the heart, though, it reduces inflammation, it helps lower blood pressure, it improves the lipid profile, so your LDL, your HDL, all of those, it helps really balance those out, which is extremely important. It does, again, improve blood flow with the endothelial function. and it does protect against platelet aggregation. So it's really helping with the blood flow by supporting the body, giving it the nutrients it needs. Remember, your body can't accept all those nutrients and vitamins though unless you've cleaned the body first and you've detoxed, and then they really work more copacetically or cohesively together. Next slide. Natural barrier support. My husband keeps walking in and looking at me because I think he thinks it's time for me to go, but we can't get off the phone today, Patrick, without me giving away free gifts. Natural barrier support is ground zero for health and wellness. I've talked about this a lot. It's really important that you have vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc, and natural barrier support is the first step to that. You can take it in water. You can take it with lemon. You can go on Tiger. I can tell you this, I would take natural barrier support with food. I think it's really important. We've gone over vitamin D and vitamin C, so let me focus on zinc right now. It does have immune function support. It does help with blood sugar, blood pressure regulation and blood sugar. We don't have that on here. Cardio muscle function, it helps. Electrolyte balance. It also helps with sexual health, as you guys know. So does vitamin D and vitamin C. It helps with immune function, anti-inflammation, and antioxidants. And I want to say this. So I did a talk on sexual health and romance for Valentine's Day. Before that, I did a talk on Sculpt, and I want to tell you guys, all of these ingredients work together. I'm trying to break it down by diagnosis so you guys can understand how it helps in different areas. So when you have family members or you have a personal issue, you're understanding how these ingredients can really support the body by providing the body with the tools it needs to be the healthiest it can be. Next slide, Tiger. ReLive Greens, and there's going to be a ton of stuff on this, and I'm at a pretty tight deadline, but I'm going to go through them really quick. ReLive Greens is a patent pending proprietary blend. It does have some components of 2 of the patents that are already approved in it, but we're going to talk really quick about how it helps with digestion and nutrient absorption and helps the overall body. You guys understand about broccoli. We talked about it as it pertained to sexual health and as it pertained to weight loss. I want you guys to know broccoli is one of my favorite products, ingredients, because it has so many great characteristics. It helps with nutrients to the heart. It helps by supporting blood tissue and blood vessels. It helps with blood pressure, and also it's high in fiber, so it's really helping the body digest things effectively. I feel like ReLive Greens should be something people are taking every morning or every night to really give the antioxidants and the ingredients it needs. If you break apart each one of these grains, you'll see all the omegas, all the peptides, all the vitamins, all the minerals that are really needed. We didn't do that on the label. We just put the ingredients. But if you broke it all out, it's packed full of all those minerals and nutrients that the body really needs. Next slide. We're gonna have to go really quick, Tiger, through these, so I'll just be as quick as possible. We all know I love Spirulina. We know that it helps with nitric oxide production. Again, one of the most important things to heart health is nitric oxide production, so it's really important. It supports blood sugar regulation, LDL, antioxidants, anti-inflammation. It gives you great support. We know Spirulina is used for a lot of different things. We know I used it when I had health issues myself. But I think it's important to show why it pertains to heart health, and it does. It really helps the enzymes and the activity of the body so they're working more copacetically. Barley grass is another one that really helps with regulation and detoxification. It also helps with nutrient density, I can't talk, and it alkalizes things. And let me explain that. It helps balance the body's pH level. So maintaining a slightly alkaline internal environment may reduce inflammation. So, you talked about alkaline water. This is something that will actually help your body and the water inside your body really have the right alkaline and pH level. So it's something that I don't talk about enough, but you guys should know that that's in the ReLive Greens. Next slide. So cayenne pepper, I love cayenne pepper. When I get sick, I tell you a trick. When I get a bronchial infection or sinus infection, or I have problems breathing, I used to have really bad asthma when I was little. I eat peppers, cayenne peppers, anything, and jalapenos. I try to get everything out of my system. Even if I have a sinus infection, it helps me overall. But it's doing that because it's really supporting the inflammation in the body, so it's better. It also helps you digest things more effectively, and it promotes detoxification. So one of the things I don't talk about enough as it pertains to ReLive Greens is ReLive Greens is definitely something that's a greens formula, but it's also a detox or cleaning formula because of all the ingredients. And again, when you talk about LDH, when you talk about cholesterol or heart health or circulation, all of it works together. You are a machine. You are this beautiful, beautiful, miraculous machine, and everything's working together. So you really got to naturally detox. And this is one of the key ingredients like spirulina and barley and chlorella and chlorophyll that really helps naturally detox. Next slide. Again, chlorella, and if you guys can, I really want you guys to see this again. It's helping with nitric oxide. It helps with the endothelial function, anti-inflammation effects, and blood pressure regulation, as well as LDL. So you're really giving the body, again, the products it needs. I'm going to say it one more time. You can go on to the next slide, Tiger. You got to detox, though, while you're doing it, or clean out the body so it can support all these amazing things that you're giving it. This is another product, by the way, along with Restore, that I use on my face. I don't do it all the time. Clayton, the last 2 weeks, I was having some problems on my face, and he actually made Restore, Clean Slate, and ReLive Greens, and he added ivermectin, a liquid, and I put it all over my face, and it was extremely great. And natural barrier support. I forgot that. Yeah, he also added natural barrier support. But the blueberry powder in this particular ingredient was used because I really wanted to support even more blood sugar regulation. And I wanted to support antioxidants in the body and really help the body be as healthy as it can. And I used a particular type of blueberry that is known to really help with the inflammation as well as support of the body. So it's an important ingredient. It also helps with the overall heart health and cardiovascular events as well. Next slide. We've talked a lot about pomegranate seed powder in the past. But again, if you guys look at these points, if you look at the characteristics of this ingredient, it's doing the same thing. It's helping lower blood sugar, improves cholesterol levels, anti-inflammation, endothelial function, oxidative stress, and blood sugar regulation. This morning, like almost every morning, I had pineapple juice and ReLive Greens. When I'm at home, I do a half of a banana or 1/4 of a banana frozen, and I do either almond milk or pistachio milk or macadamia milk, and I make a smoothie. And then I will sometimes add the Restore and the Give Me Back My Youth I add. And so they're all in one ingredient. And sometimes I even add the Clean Slate so I can drink it all at once. And that's my meal. That's what I do. And I sometimes do that twice a day. Next slide, we're talking about flaxseed. And I said this when we talked about sexual health. This is something my grandmother always put on our cereal, and she always had at her house. And my grandmother actually almost had all these ingredients at her house because she took tons of natural things. But it's high in dietary fiber. It really helps with regulation and improves your lipid profile. It's rich in omega-3, which is really important to your overall blood vessel function, and it's known to be health protective. So most of you guys already know this, but I wanted to make sure we included this. This is an extremely important ingredient, and if I were you all, I would also have flaxseed at home and use it on different cereals, or use the ReLive Greens that you sprinkle on things. So you're taking it in a shake, but you're also using it throughout the day. Next slide. Immune defense shield is really important. And I've talked a lot about DNA function and cellular health and how important it is to orchestrate and do all of this together. It helps our bodies with aging. It helps with different threats of disease. You know, our goal is to keep epigenetics down, have our DNA intact, and really live as long as possible. Next slide. To do that, though, you have to have good heart health, right? So the vitamin K in this is very important. It helps with blood vessel health, blood clotting, lipid profiles, and it helps regulate, again, calcium. It also helps with cardiovascular protection. And I think that's one of my favorite things about vitamin D and vitamin K. When you use those together, it really provides this protection for the heart, and your heart needs to be protected because your heart is always really under attack because of toxins and environmental factors. So you've really got to support it, and using vitamin K and vitamin D together are essential, and you guys have that within the root formulas. Next slide. So your NAD is really important for energy production, but also we know that NAD helps with mitochondrial function, DNA repair, and it's cardioprotective. It also helps with redox balance, which means that it facilitates electron transfers, which help with metabolic pathways. So one of the things I haven't talked about enough is that metabolic pathway helps improve metabolism and hormone health as well. So you're supporting yourself with so many different things when you have the appropriate NAD. I sometimes take 6 NAD when I travel now. I take 2 on most days. Sometimes I go up to 4, but if I get sick now, Clayton will put 6 out for me so I can make sure that I'm taking them. And I do notice, and I've told you guys before, I notice major changes in my personal body. Everybody's going to be different, but people, in my opinion, need to keep NAD at home or immune defense shield at home in case you need it. Hopefully you're using it every day, but if you're not using it every day, I'm hoping you have it so you can use it as needed. Next slide. So let's talk about quercetin. Quercetin is really important. And one of the reasons I use quercetin in this formula was not just anti-aging. It was because of how impactful it is to reduce LDL, to help with platelets, and to regulate lipid metabolism. Of course, I don't have it on here, but it also decreases inflammation. It helps with antioxidant, and it's another thing that really helps with endothelial function. So it's really promoting overall healthy blood flow, and it's reducing the risk of blood clots in the body. So any of you guys that know people that have thrown a clot to the lungs or the brains or the leg, or the brain, sorry, or the leg, remember this when you look at these at this particular product, which is called Immune Defense Shield. Give me back my youth. Everyone thinks has to do with basically your skin, hair, and nails, or it has to do with your muscles or ligaments. But the truth is, what is the heart? Next slide, Tiger. Your heart is one of the most important muscles in your body, and you've really got to protect it. The collagen and colostrum in this particular product, you guys know that it's a cruelty-free program that these animals go through, which I think we are the only one that I know of or I've ever heard of in Europe, Africa, or the United States. The goal, again, is to give people what they need to help with their overall body, to help with anti-aging, to help with ligaments and muscles, and that contributes to overall heart health because, again, your heart is a muscle. So just remember that you've got to reduce the inflammation, support the immune system, and to do that, this really helps protect your overall cardiovascular system. Next slide. All right, so here's some of the, you guys may want to take a picture of this, some of the references. And if you guys ever want more references, please let us know. We can always send you more because Tiger has done an amazing job. We're in the process of applying for more and more patents. We have told you guys we just got another patent approved. We're extremely excited. And as an inventor of these patents, I'm extremely blessed because we have this community that can really help people throughout the world with this. So today, before I go, actually, Patrick, I'm gonna have you and Tiger do this because I'm late and I have to get downstairs. Let's pick 3 people and pick 3 people that will get the new military science book because no one else has it. And I actually had the Vatican ask me for it yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, so we have not pushed this out. We will do it at the Kennedy Center tomorrow. The military science book will be launched along with a lot of, or some ambassadors and Congress people and legislatures in this country, governors, lieutenant governors, a lot of different people. And Tiger and Patrick, we've got to get someone help. If you could tell Ted to grab 3 of them because we only have 150. And I asked for the Vatican. They asked me, I know a lot of people don't like the Vatican, but they've asked me for a book for their library as well. And I don't have any. I don't even have the 1 book. So there's going to be 3 people on this call. And I would like the 3 people, Patrick and Tiger, to be people that understand military science and strategy. So whoever is selected, you've got to ask them, what is their background working with an embassy or working with governments or working with people that are politically in military strategy. I know Birgit and her husband are involved in that. I know there's other people as well.
But Birgit always has her hand raised.
Yeah,
She
but
can't win.
no, that's not true because her family, I mean, Thomas is really involved in it.
Well, that's true.
So we want to pick 3 people, Patrick, and then we'll make sure we grab 3 books. And we send those out
You gotta sign 'em.
because
You have to.
I have to get ready, honey.
Yeah.
I'm really late. I want to make sure I will sign him. So Patrick, he asked if I would sign him. I'm just stressing out because I was supposed to be downstairs at 3. But if you can make sure that we pick 3 people, guys, I'm going to tell you about this book. It is not a health book. I have one of my doctorate degrees. One of my PhDs is in military science. So it's a military strategy book. I wrote it years ago. I did write some things about biologics and my prediction on using biologics for war. So we strategically are launching this in Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center with the National Legislation and Foundation of Female Legislatures and Congresswomen. And we will also be launching with different ambassadors, as well as some governors and dignitaries and lieutenant governors in Washington, D.C. tomorrow. So I'm going to let you go, Patrick. I'm so sorry, but I'm late. If you and Tiger could pick the 3 people, that would be amazing. And then if we can make sure I sign them and we send them off, that'll be great.
Got
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. So, Dirk, I've never seen you raise your hand before, so why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself? How are you?
Hi, hello. Hello. Fine, thank you. And you?
I am amazing. So what experience do you have with dealing with military? Per what
I've been military for 35 years, so it was my job until I get to pension or retired. Yeah.
That's amazing. Lovely. Well, my email is patrick@therootbrands.com. If you could please email me your information and your address, and I'd be more than happy to get a signed book shipped off to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And have a nice evening.
You as well. I look forward to your email. Let's see.
Yeah, thank you.
Bergen, I know that she called you and that you and Thomas do a lot of. Go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, thank you very much. You know that we're with the military all the time here in Frankfurt, and with all family of us is in the military. So we are interested in military science. And when the book comes here, I will forward it to the U.S. Consul General in Frankfurt.
That sounds amazing. You know how to get in touch with me.
I do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. We do a lot of ladies. Let me pick another guy. Michael Linz. I've never seen you raise your hand before. How are you, sir? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Ja, eingeschaltet. Ja, ich war auch mehrere Jahre bei der Bundeswehr und habe natürlich meine Erfahrung damit, und es würde mich interessieren.
Amazing. If you would be so kind to email me, patrick@therootbrands.com, so that I can get your information, and I would be more than happy to send a signed book. So it's patrick@therootbrands.com. Thank you for translating, Roland.
Oh, okay.
Danke.
Gleich fertig, danke.
All right. I went heavy on the males this time because we tend to go heavy on the females because Dr. Ron. So thank you very much, everyone. We'll try and get this call edited and up on YouTube so everyone can rewatch it. I hope everyone has a blessed rest of your Tuesday, and we will see each other for the rest of the week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.